We're back on the sofa and the chair. I got a chair to myself because I'm very important. Now, you're two halves of two different double acts.
That's right.
Do you feel vulnerable, tense, and unsure of what to do without your other halves, or could this be the start of a new double act?
I was gonna say I was about to wear almost the exact same thing as Ange, so I'm kind of like,
we're a little
maybe we
upset
should.
that it didn't happen.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
I know.
Maybe we could cut and you could go home and change.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing by the accent, you're from America.
I am.
And you're
Australian.
That will be the accent. It seems to me that once upon a time, double acts were kind of the thing. And then they kind of were not the thing, because everyone wanted to. I know. And never mind, you got the pink hair, that's good. That makes up for it. Is that your natural hair colour?
Yes, can you tell?
Yeah.
Born pink. So many people doubt it.
Oh no.
Yeah.
But it's kind of coming back, and female double acts are, I'm not saying there's too many of you and you're boring, but is the dynamic, could you hazard a guess, in a female double act the same as it is in a male double act?
That's a very interesting question.
Thank you.
I sense that, you're so welcome. I sense that sometimes in some of the male double acts I've seen, hashtag not all men. However, there is kind of this, there can be this sort of power dynamic of just
straight man, funny man.
Yeah, and I would say my partner Salma and I, we also do have this complementary dynamic, but we feel incredibly safe together. So I would be really soft and
yeah, I know.
warm.
I'm feeling slightly queasy now.
I'm so sorry.
If you attempt to hold my hand, I will slap you.
Oh my gosh, we hold hands all the time. But yeah, it's a very soft relationship outside of the show, and so.
And what about inside of the show?
Inside of the show, we've been told Salma's glamorous, I'm a little grumpy, and that's a fun dynamic.
You look very glamorous to me.
Well, thank you. I tried this morning.
I mean, you've got big hair. What else do you need?
I do. Well, I leave it at that.
Yeah.
No makeup in the show, but Salma, yeah, it might be a softer kind of these are two very close friends.
Okay.
As opposed to two different characters.
Okay, how about, are you close with two close friends? Most importantly, do you both have pink hair?
No. So I'm really kind of, going against what you said there about everyone being safe. It's very competitive. I've obviously tried to show Jane up very thoroughly by just out-glamming her. But it's interesting you ask about the difference between the dynamic between two men and two women, because my entry into comedy was that I would play cello for a male improv duo called Bear Pack, so two Australian guys, Steen Raskopoulos and Carlo Ritchie, and I sit on the stage and make up an hour's worth of cello music to go with their hour-long story.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good. Sorry, so you have actual skills?
Just the one. Yeah. And they have this incredible simpatico and trust on stage. But I would end up, and they're good friends, they're old friends, I would have to break news about the other person about Christine to Carlo or vice versa, because they didn't have, they're blokes, they would just not necessarily chat and be vulnerable and communicate. And they had a lot of trust on stage, and that's where it counts, right? But Jane and I, because we're old friends, we actually went to school together. So we've known each other since we were, 10 or something. And it's very, very easy to communicate, and it's very, very, as you say, safe. I mean, it feels almost like a grubby word these days. It's I need to go and wash myself after this. But yeah, it is a very, you don't ever feel, that sort of ugly, competitive, I joke about the pink hair or whatever, but there's no, she's got my back completely, and you feel that.
I said, that might be. You don't ever get that feeling from male double acts, even although they are friends and been together forever. just the words that you're using, they would never use a male double act.
Yeah, I think, I don't know about you guys. Like, warmth is very part of. It's a comedy, but people do leave or have told us they've left the show kind of uplifted. Like, there's a lot of darkness, but it's balanced, and we're just very close. I'm so sorry. Am I nauseating you?
Could you? Yeah, whoa! Because it's so on Edinburgh Festival. This is a very competitive place. This is not, unless you can hack it. It's not a particularly nice place. And I don't think. She said, sticking her hand on her microphone. Sorry about that. People come here, I think, to compete, to be noticed. Sure. You're both debuts, or have you been here before?
This is it's so bad that I can't remember. I think it's my 6th year here.
Whoa, I'm so sorry.
No, not at all. Well, I was here for the first couple of years playing the cello and just sort of observing, going, wow, everyone's really happy.
Comedy cello or cello?
Well, I mean, I think it's quite a funny instrument in that it's quite it's oddly pompous, and then it's sort of maudlin, but there's kind of comedy in that. But, so I would play the cello with the guys, and then I was all of a sudden in this world, because I'm a journalist by trade. And so then I was sort of observing all this comedy and went oh, I saw enough mediocre stuff that I'm like, I think I could probably compete. So I had that.
Wow.
I saw lots of fantastic stuff as well. I was like, wow, I'll never, that makes me want to quit immediately before I've begun. But when I think I could. So it's not my first year.
That's a really good way to come kind of pre-prepared.
I want to say, I'm kind of like, we really might be a good pair. I play double bass.
Are we about to break up with our comedy?
What are you doing after this? It's just not very portable, so I didn't bring it, but I am trying to figure out how to incorporate it.
It's fabulous, because it's like another person.
Yes, you have to hug it. Oh, I love it.
I mean, I played the cello, not for a long time, but I just love the way because you feel like you're making the whole music. You're not just something poking and you
so embodied.
This is, I can see. And then, how do you think your two other halves would get on if you left them and went for stringed instrument comedy?
Wow.
Well, I mean, the audience aside, how they would cope with just that much bass, no treble, and two quite maudlin instruments on stage. But thinking about comedy partners alone, I think Jane always, would make do, because we're very, I don't know what your comedy partner's
like. Make do?
No. In it. Okay, let me mend my speech. So, Jane, I'm so sorry. So she, I'm the organizer and the kind of, but she's very practical. And so we go to pieces at different moments.
Okay, that's good.
We're very complementary.
That's good.
I think we'd both kind of be, fucked on some level without each other, because we are two kind of perfect halves. The things that she can do, I'm completely incompetent at, and things that, rather like a marriage.
That's perfect.
People end up sort of specialising. So, I said, when I say she'd make do, the same goes for me. It wouldn't be pretty.
Yeah. Oh, I can see you're going off the whole idea now. How about your other half?
Salma is a star. I have no... she can hold her own, and she'd be like, look, if you need to follow your truth and that's a string instrument-based comedy, I have to let you do that. I have to let you spread your wings, but also can we please do our show first? Because we have spent all of our life savings on it.
Have you really?
It's been quite a lot.
Because it's monstrously expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's monstrously expensive to come to the Edinburgh Fringe from Glasgow, let alone transatlantic and
whatever
other
world,
yeah.
many seas.
But this is my debut at Fringe as a performer. I was here in 2019. I went to law school in America, and after I sat for the New York State bar exam, I was like, as a treat, I'm going to go to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. I'd always wanted to come. And then I came and I was like, I gotta come back here. And we're making dreams happening. So
that's what. Are you still a practicing lawyer?
Absolutely not.
Really?
It might be easier to afford if you were.
Yeah, just a
You're
thought.
telling me I'm gonna be paying back those student loans until probably posthumously, but we'll see.
And what? I feel like we're bonding here. I did law as well.
Did you really? I'm so sorry. Or did you like it? I don't know.
I stupidly thought that lawyers were there to help people.
Okay. Yes.
Massive misconception.
Yeah.
And when I faced that hurdle, so was it the same bits of you or linked bits of you that made you want to be an attorney and made you want to perform on stage? Because attorneys perform.
They do, and the mock trials were the times where I was like, oh, I could do this. This is like musical theater without the singing and the dancing.
Yeah,
But-
and the fun.
Yeah, but I think the law school thing, I was like trying to impress my parents and just really not following my gut at all. But it was in law school where I watched a comedy special that like completely changed my brain chemistry, and I was like, oh, okay, I got to do that. This is a crazy pivot, but I have to do that.
So audiences, as you know, in Edinburgh are hard to come by. Are you going to go and see each other's shows?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I want you to
What
pitch to
time
her.
is your show?
I want you to pitch to her. Just imagine you've got a
Yeah.
flyer in your hand, and then vice versa.
I swore off flying, but I'll do it just this once. It's a total farce. It's me and my best friend Jane, and the show's called Jazz or a Bucket of Blood. And I want the show to be about a bucket of blood, which we've put on stage, and she wants the show to be about jazz, but she doesn't know what jazz is. So it's absurd. It's a farce. It's a way to understand the world at the moment in terms of like things feeling a bit pointless, but finding the joy in that.
Okay.
Wow. Gosh, I mean, try that while that's more like having a relationship with the person you're flyering to.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. There you go.
Let's go.
So, Parallel, my show with Salma Hindi, is about our unlikely friendship. We each grew up very religious. I grew up in an Orthodox Jewish home. She grew up in a kind of like the same version of Orthodoxy, but in a Muslim home. And when we met each other, both we were on the same stand-up comedy show in Brooklyn, both telling 9/11 jokes, very tasteful. And we started talking afterward, and we'd never felt so seen by someone of our own religion who'd kind of moved through a very religious insular community and decided to leave. And so finding each other was kind of like finding a real soul sister. I was like, your parents are racist, my parents are racist. And we don't censor any of that stuff in the show, so you'll hear it if you come.
Oh my
Now,
goodness, that's
I
such
think-
a strong pitch.
I know.
So
I think we're
good.
going to have to stop there because I need to go and buy tickets for both of these shows.